Hi, everyone. So today's drawing is inspired by the news that just came out that Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, you may know him, he's come out with the truth bombs and he's been all throughout COVID exposing deep state and the globalists. Very powerful voice of truth in a very dark time. And it continues to be. And because of that, of course, the evil ones are punishing him, it looks like. So it says the Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano has been summoned to the Vatican to be excommunicated by Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope. As seen in the video, he courageously spoke out against child trafficking and named individuals such as Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, and former editor of the Recount, Slade Summer, who was arrested for child pornography. I don't know if I should say that word, but he went on to speak about how Jeffrey Epstein ran a blackmail operation on his island, collecting evidence of well-known people committing heinous ritual crimes against children while working for the Israeli Mossad. Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano also spoke out against the following: stolen elections, COVID mandates, corruption of the church, Israel killing civilians in Palestine, and against the World Economic Forum. He is now being charged with denying the legitimacy of Pope Francis and at breaking communion with him and of having rejected the Second Vatican Council. So, if you're aware right now, nobody believes that this Pope is, doing is the rightful Pope, and that he's doing a lot of anti-Christian things, and a lot of people do not recognize this current Pope. They think he's evil, satanic. So, anyways, but Carlo Vigano has come out with the truth all throughout COVID, and now they're the evil Pope and his minions are going to excommunicate him. So I wanted to draw a picture of him, and I thought this was particularly beautiful backdrop that he has with this video where he did name names. Very brave. I think that he is being a role model where everybody just needs to come out and be honest about what's going on and who's doing it, with all the crimes against humanity. So this is the picture I drew and am coloring and also gel pen painting. And I just wanted to show you some art tips here that you may know or may not know, but that I'm illustrating here. So this is the first layer here. I'm using Crayola pencils and gel pens. Later on, you'll see. So Crayola pencils. Sometimes I want that light ethereal look of the Crayola pencils, Yeah, but this is what I want to point out here is that I only used the black pencil on his outfit there. So I just used, several layers of black pencil, and you can see how it looks, right? Not exactly the result I wanted. So then I remembered, artists like to add a layer of blue with the black to make it darker. So that I got out my dark blue Crayola pencil and added a layer of dark blue as well as another layer of black. And look at that, the difference there. So again, on the right-hand side is just the black pencil, and on the left-hand side is the black pencil with a layer of dark blue. So I just wanted to illustrate that, see what a difference, keep that in mind, because you know these things, but sometimes you don't think of them right away. So just a reminder that what a difference it makes. Now, so the picture on the left is where I'm at. I was at. So this is just using Crayola color pencils, and it has that nice blend that I like to get sometimes with these pencils. But then I said, okay, now that I've done the Crayola pencil layers, now I want to give it some more oomph and some, vividness. So I took out the gel pens and the glycerin and painted on the gel pen ink onto the background here, the background circle, and the pink of his tunic there. And there we go. So picture on the left is just the Crayola pencils, and the picture on the right is the Crayola pencils with the gel pens painted over, the gel pen and glycerin. So you can see how much more vivid and the pink of his outfit there. So I didn't do his face yet, or the cross or anything, or a lot. There's still a lot more to be done. I think I'm going to just go in with a gel pen and paint the rest of it. But I just thought that might be of interest. I like Crayola pencils with the gel pens for some reason. I just think it has a nice look to it that I look for sometimes, just so yeah, so I just thought that might interest you if uh you're looking to experiment with color pencil and painting with gel pens. So now I'm going to continue on with the final drawing I have so far here. So this is where I'm up to now, and I'm going to be continuing. Now I'm using like cheap sketch paper. It's like a cheap notebook as well. So this is not. You don't even need to have like high quality cardstock or anything. Right now with this, I'm just using um, this cheap sketch pad that I got from Walmart or something. So it's the paper. So that another thing I think about the Crayola and the gel pen is even with cheap sketch paper, um, you can still get a really nice, vivid, dark look to it, or I should say, saturated look to it. Because that's a major problem sometimes with color pencils is the cheaper paper you can't put enough layers of pencil to get the vividness. But with the gel pens, it's not an issue. Okay, so now I'm just going to go straight on doing the hair of Jesus in the background here. And I've got a brown colored gel pen, and I've got my little cup of glycerin. I'm using the vegetable glycerin here, and it's going to take a few drops. Stuff lasts forever. I tell you, it's great. I love painting this way because it's so clean and neat and easy, really compared to other watercolor or anything else. Just need a pen and a little glycerin. So here's the brown gel pen. I'm going to putting this on the scotch tape, the matte scotch tape that's already on there, and I'm just getting the gel. And even after this, you just wipe it off with a paper towel. It's all cleaned up. It's really great way to paint. It's a lot of fun. Didn't know I would enjoy it so much painting with gel pens. I stayed away from gel pens for a long time because I thought, nah, I'm not going to use gel pens. I don't need gel pens, but they are a lot of fun to paint with and use. But painting, it's a lot of fun with them. So, and you do get some really nice results with them again on any kind of paper, basically. So I got the gel ink on there. I'm dipping into just a little bit of the glycerin, my glass here, mixing that together. The more glycerin, it's like water, the more glycerin, the more lighter it will get, just like with watercolor and water. So this is the color I'm using for his hair, because his hair in the painting is kind of a greenish, brownish kind of look to it. I don't know if that's because of aging or, oh, this matches pretty closely, this color, which isn't always easy to get. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. Not always easy to get the exact shade you want with one color, with gel pen or with pencil. So this is nice how it's very close to the. Now the trick here, so now I want to put color pencil on first. At least I know where to go. Now here I have to sort of figure out, because I didn't draw the outside. I didn't draw in the hair, so I'm sort of just figuring it out as I paint, which isn't always the best way to go. But I live dangerously here. I hope that doesn't look too puffy. I don't want to make it look too puffy there. And then we get the beard across here. Face. All right, so hopefully that is so An interesting. He's got a goatee too in this picture, which is interesting. I've never seen. I don't think this picture was painting before. All right, so then it's pretty much done. This sort of square, it's like squarish kind of shape here, so I'll make sure I get that look there. Okay, that looks a little. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure he looks masculine and not too well, as accurate. And then I'm going to use. I still have a lot left over, so I'm actually going to use that on the robe here, which is a slightly different color, but I can put another shade on top of it to change it a little bit. Or I may just leave it this color. I don't know. It's more of a brown. I'm realizing now that I'm painting with it, it looks more greenish than brownish, so I may pull out a browner color from the gel pen set. And yeah, I'll go from there. There's also a little bit that sort of, this comes down like this, and it goes off the arm and sort of comes out here a little bit. So there's a little, the drapery hanging off there. Okay, so far so good. So just to clean off the brush, I'm just using this cheap flat brush here, no name flat brush, and just wipe it off with a paper towel and move on to the next color. So now I'm going to work on the gray of his robe. And of course, I have my swatch sheet here that you can download from my website, Dailyempress-art.com. And his little squares I used to swatch my gel pens, this huge gel pen set. So now looking at it under the light, I'm going to choose a light gray color, and I think I found it. So I'm going to pull that out. So now I found the gray pen I'm going to use, and being careful, it stays wet for a while, so you have to be careful, like any other kind of painting, not to touch it for a while or smear it. And I'm putting on the gray color for his robe. These gel pens are made for coloring and painting, so they're very wide tips. I mean, you could write with them too if you wanted to, but very wide tips would make big. If you want large letters or something, it wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't look so good just in a notebook. I don't think. It'd be too blotchy. But they're perfect for. I didn't even know there were gel pens for art. For artists and specifically for that, which is great. Anyways, I've learned so much since I started color pencil adult coloring from so many wonderful channels on YouTube. So here we go. I'm going to color in the gray now. The gray square, the white border to the outfit, and then gray in here. It goes on very smoothly and evenly with very little effort. And it's not messy at all. It doesn't move around too much. You don't have to worry about it, getting, what do you call it? Cauliflowers and whatnot, things that happen with watercolor or other painting. It goes on. It's so smooth and easy. Yeah, nice base layer. I mean, look at that. Boom, done. Well, not completely done. I still want to put in some little more shading and lines there. But what I can do, I'm going to take a darker grayish to put in some shading. So this is the next shade darker of the gray. And since there's already gel on there, I'm just going to go ahead and put it directly on the page here as it is. I can smear it around quite smoothly to get a nice or decent shaded look here. I might do the same with the hair. I might add some lines in there as well. give it some texture. Make it a little darker because I think it's a little light and it looks a little too green. So I'm going to add this just a few lines because it is still damp up there in the hair. So I can still blend other shades of color here. So now it's getting a lot of different gel colors there. So I got to be careful now. It's sort of moving it around a little. But we do want a little bit of contrast there, I think, in the hair just to give it more of a three-dimensional look, or at least a different texture, a little more detail. Now I could have just let this dry first and then, use another shade and just colored over it as well. But now I'm going to do the eyes. This dark gray, I'm just going to go in and put the eyes in. Like that. Let me see. It's such a small area to try to get a face in there, make it like this big clumsy pen here. So, but I think that looks okay. So he's got a long nose in the painting, and I can put like that. And then the mouth right here. Okay, I think that looks as well as I'm going to do it. There's the part in the hair in the middle. And under the chin, a little darker as well, around the outsides a little bit. Yeah, I think it looks a little slanted there. I didn't do it quite as well as not an exact copy of the painting, but it's as good as I'm going to get. So there we go. I'm going to put an outline. I'm using the dark gray, and I'm going to outline the robe here as well. And I didn't color in. I'm going to go back to the original gray that I was using, the lighter gray. I didn't color in this sleeve completely. I'm going to get that sleeve in. Put that all in there. Light, very light shade here around. Okay. Yeah, then maybe. Well, not exactly. I don't think I can go. I can't lift that up now. I can lift it up a little. Okay, good. So his forehead is a little slanted to me. Let me see. I can lift it. So you can do a little bit of correction with gel, which is nice because I think I want to correct this a little bit. Erase that. So I'm basically erasing some of the gel on top there. I want his forehead to be a little wider there, a little less hair, a little more forehead, I think. I'm going for here. So you do have the ability to erase a little bit, but not precisely like regular watercolor painting. You can try fixing it a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to get it entirely off there. Let me see. Mm. I'm just going to shade his face a little here. Okay, I think this is good as I'm going to get it. All right. So again, I can go back with the darker gray here. A little more vivid. And then I'm going to also take out a red to make this a little bit redder, and then red around the oval. Okay, so now I've got the red gel pen, and being careful not to smudge anything. I'm going to get some red color, sort of a darker red color, more of a brick type of red, not blood red or cherry red or anything. It's a dark maroon, darker red color, which I think will fits the bill here. And let me get the gel out. And there you can see, just dip it in gel a little bit, just a touch. Smear it around there. That one touch got quite a big glob, so which is good. So now it's all activated there. It's very dark now. I could add some more gel. I think I'm going to lighten that up. I'm going to add another dab here. I'm adding some more of the glycerin to water it down a bit. Now, it's not quite so strong because you can get a very strong color if you want, but I'm looking for like a, yeah, it's a bit strong. Now wipe off my brush here and just sort of lift it a little bit here. Yeah, that's more like it because I want more of a rusty look to it. So now I want to put an outline outside of the circle. This I'm making a little more vivid. I have to zoom out a little bit to see. Just going around the outside of the circle now. And I don't know, maybe a little on the inside as well, but I'll just leave it there on the outside. I'm not doing it exactly like the painting. I'm just sort of adding two tones to it. The circle, anyways. I may just add a little bit since I have this red color out on the shadow, the darker parts of his tunic or whatever you call this around his waist, his band of the cloth here. I'm going to put some of the red in there, give it some, bring the colors together, bring in some harmony with the painting using similar colors. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make it a little darker on the edges there. On the cap. And red is also by water. I don't not water it down, but glycerin it down. I add some more glycerin to it, make it really lighter, much lighter, to get a nice light kind of pink version of this, and then use that for. Now his skin in the video looks very pale. But it looks a little washed out, a little too washed out. So I'm going to make him a little. Normally, skin is a light. You have some pink tones and yellow tones in this one. So I had it all pretty much around the same tone I saw there, but I'm just going to give him some color here. It's a very light covering of the of the glycerin pink here. So yeah, so I think that looks a little better. It looks a little more. I'm gonna do the same here. I'm gonna add some color to that so it doesn't look so, even though the painting is very like pale, I want to add some, make it look more alive, more fleshy tones. Yeah, I put a little too much glycerin in, so it's kind of clumping up a little bit here, which is, have to watch it not to use too much glycerin, but I overdo things. I always push the limits. I live dangerously. You can't really tell right far away. It looks good. I think that looks good for a skin tone. I like that. I think it looks better. A little bit better there. So we've got that. So now what? Now I think I will. I want like a light gray, I think, around the circle, the oval here. I'm going to go back to the light gray that I used before on the robe here, the lighter shade of it. And I'm going to go back in and sort of put that next to the red on the oval. I'm adding some more gray here onto the tape. Some more gel, add a little bit, a drop of the glycerin. So I'm getting a light gray, using a lot of glycerin again. And I'm just going to go in here and just sort of add a stripe of gray in there. Sort of going over the red as well a little bit, sort of darkening one side of the red. Yeah, that looks okay. Might put in some shading in the hand a little bit here with the gray, a little under the chin. Got a little colored in. And then last but not least, I'm going to color. I think I could leave this white, the halo, and just outline it with black, which I might do. But I get the cross. I also, maybe I'll just outline them both. Oops, I can use black or a dark gray. Maybe I'll use the darker gray. Yeah, let me try that. So, and I've got the color right here. I think this is black or gray. This is, I think, a black. This actually is a black, so I'm gonna end up using a black gel, and I'm just gonna go be careful not to smudge what I've done. I'm just gonna try to keep this a circle here. I drew it in by hand, so it's not perfect, but yeah, so I think that is what I have so far. So I am going to let this dry for a little bit before I continue on. So we'll just stop right there and come back to it soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching what I've got so far anyways. Finish this up later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.